Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for the end of a 3-day launch of the 2020 State of the Inner City Report, COVID-19, the changing state of the inner city, strengthening community in a time of isolation. The State of the Inner City Report was started by the Manitoba office of the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives 16 years ago as a way to highlight the essential but too often invisible work of community-based organizations throughout Winnipeg's inner city. Every year, the focus of the report is chosen by the community-based organizations, and it should come as no surprise that this year they chose to focus on how community-based organizations who deal with emergencies and crises all day, every day, continue to do so in the middle of a global pandemic that requires us to be separated from one another. Before going any farther, I want to recognize that the inner city of Winnipeg is home to the largest urban Indigenous population in Canada. This is Treaty 1 land, and land that has traditionally and continuously been the home of the Métis Nation and many First Nations. And unfortunately, none of these Indigenous nations are strangers to pandemics. Through this history, we have much we can learn in the present about individual and communal health and wellness. Many of these community-based organizations throughout the inner city of Winnipeg work with and serve and are often run by Indigenous peoples and principles, including recognizing that the health of the individual is deeply connected to the health of the society. My name is Shayna Plout, and as a mother and a proud resident of West Broadway, I had the pleasure of being the lead researcher of this report along with my colleague Justin Grift. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the leadership and frontline staff of community-based organizations who are walking the talk tirelessly and still found the time to sit down to share their experiences in interviews in the middle of a global and local pandemic. Their words and actions enable us to better share the basic needs of the people who live, work, and play in the inner city of Winnipeg, and what is being done in these very trying and constantly shifting times to meet those needs. One of the needs that was brought up in nearly every interview, and we interviewed 30 people in 21 organizations, is that of safe, affordable housing. What this housing looks like for people differs. Sometimes it's temporary shelter to get safe and warm and get off the street. Sometimes it is transitional housing that enables a person to heal until they are ready to take whatever their next step may be. And sometimes it is the kind of wraparound supportive housing that we all need, the support that turns a house into a home. Since 1993, Ndinawe has provided all of the above and has continued to do so throughout COVID-19. I am now going to turn it over to Susan Berthiaume and Angela Pelletier, who both were working at Ndinawe throughout this pandemic.
Thanks, Shayna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, welcome. Thanks everybody for joining us this afternoon. Ndinawe, since '93, like Shayna said, has operated 3 24/7 very distinct housing situations. We have a safe house where youth come, a 16-bed unit that is full, where they come for immediate support, can stay for several months and get the connections they need to succeed. We also have a transition house where youth that are older and aging out of provincial care are able to build skills and learn those skills to be able to navigate adult life, paying rent, learning how to cook, learning how to budget, and learning how to take care of yourself. We also have a 24/7 safe space where youth can come and get immediate housing support. And these are very low barrier places where people can come in and get housed and supported immediately. And we have been struggling and trying to make this work, and are very, very pleased that we're still able to provide services at all and haven't had to close even for one day. At the early part of the pandemic, like I said, we were experiencing many youth coming to our shelters, sometimes up to 25 in an evening, looking for a place to sleep, period. As the pandemic has progressed, I guess is the word I'm looking for, I would like Angelina to kind of talk about some of the federal funding that has come our way, and been able to help house some of the youth.
Thanks, Susan. So as Susan highlighted, we did receive quite a bit of federal funding to cover cost of first month's rent and damage deposits for our young people who are experiencing homelessness. This has been really crucial, but it also highlighted the need for that consistent funding so that our young people are not in precarious situations, living on the streets, sleeping really rough at night, especially amidst this pandemic that we're all experiencing. The funds have been really crucial for our young people, and it's helped to make our community members healthy. It's provided a lot of opportunities to connect with other resources such as therapy, healthcare, clothing, food, really those basic needs. Even when we think about shoes and not having shoes, we've been able to provide really simple things that a lot of us can take for granted. The funding also brought to light that this should be something that we have consistently year-round, pandemic or not. And that's something that we haven't been seeing, and are really hoping that this experience, this kind of experiment, I guess we could call it, shows all of those barriers and gaps that exist right now. And those are all just so crucial to the health of our community and to the well-being of our future. Thank you.
The other thing it's highlighted for us, though, as a relationship-based organization, is that we need each other. And as much as it's wonderful for youth to get a home of their own, the isolation and lack of infrastructure that our youth have, everything from no Wi-Fi, no internet, no device, to connect with anyone that can support you during the day and support you through what you're going through, has been really, really difficult. And that's where our staff come in and have been able to bridge some of those gaps and be able to very safely try to connect with as many people as possible. Our staffing situations are troublesome. Our front line has worn very thin and is very tired. And we just hope to keep going. And we, again, just hope that with the support of the other community organizations that we work with, who have been so tremendous in helping fill the other gaps that our youth experience, it's been us taking care of each other, which has been really amazing. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Angelina and Susan, I wish I could hug you.
I know.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
elbow you here. And then I'll just wrap us up. Thank you
Right.
very much for sharing your truth.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Susan and Angelina. As you can see, Ndinawe, like other CBOs, have been and continue to be frontline essential workers, but with limited and inconsistent financial support and resources. To get a fuller picture of how community-based organizations in the core area of Winnipeg have responded to our global pandemic and local pandemic, please attend the launch of our full report today at 1 p.m. on CCPA Manitoba's YouTube channel. You can register at the CCPA Manitoba's website or If you're watching YouTube right now, check the chat box. Registration information is there. Thank you.